All right, everybody. So here we are. It's still day one. It's just post number 2, and we're going to learn how to use our essential oils effectively and safely. So, along with this post, there's some pictures. I've shown you some pictures of the 3 different ways to use essential oils: aromatic, topical, and then internal. And then giving you some ideas of maybe some ways to get each of those types. But now we're going to dive in and give you some examples and talk to you about the benefits of each of those 3 types. So the first one is aromatic, and it's one of my favorite ones. As soon as we open this essential oil, you can start to begin to smell these volatile compounds being released into the air. They smell great. But one of the values of aromatic use is that the sense of smell is hardwired into the area of our brain that has to do with memories and has to do with emotions. So one of the wonderful benefits of aromatic use is that it can elevate moods. It can remind you of a favorite memory. It can remind you of a not so favorite memory too. But those essential oils you need to steer clear of. Most of the time, it's uplifting. And so the aromatic use can be great, like I said, for helping mood, helping focus. A lot of teachers do aromatic use in their classrooms to help students remain focused and alert while they're working. So another way that you can get aromatic use is maybe some essential oil jewelry. So I will put a few drops on a little felt pad inside my locket. And so then as this lays against my chest, the heat of my body, throughout the day I can just smell that oil. And so I like to put things there that make me happy and calm, and it's very soothing. So aromatic use, number 1. The second way that we can get essential oils is to do them topically. So with that same bottle of lavender, I can take a drop or 2, and again, as soon as I release the top, I'm smelling that essential oil. But I can also rub it in. Let's say I've got some tight and tense muscles. We'll talk about all the benefits of lavender here in a little bit. But one of the things with topical use is that we can apply that essential oil right over our target organ. Maybe we want to do something to impact the stomach, or we want to ease some tension in our muscles. So with topical use, that oil is going to bond and sink in through the skin. And that generally takes about anywhere from 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. And about 30 minutes before then, that oil has become absorbed down into your bloodstream. And from there, it can impact cells throughout your body. So one of the ways that we make topical use even more effective is to use a carrier oil. Now, doTERRA and a lot of other companies sell something called fractionated coconut oil, and what that means is it's an organic coconut oil that they've removed some of the fatty acids, and so the coconut oil remains liquid at room temperature. It also has absolutely no coconut smell, so for those of you that don't like the coconut smell, you can just take a little bit of this. It's very moisturizing, very soothing, but it helps you with your drop of oil. It will help you take that wonderful, pure, potent, very, very potent oil and spread that over a larger area. So typically, whenever I'm using essential oils topically, I'm going to use a carrier oil. Now, you'll see from some of the pictures that I've included along with this post is that we'll use some designations. We'll use the term NEAT, or N, meaning that essential oil can be applied directly to the skin. If maybe that's a little bit more of a hot oil, kind of a spicy oil, then it needs to be diluted more, particularly for people like me who've got very pink, sensitive skin, or for kiddos. We don't want to cause any skin sensitivity, but what we see with those carrier oils, not only will it help lessen any chance of skin sensitivity, it also acts as a carrier. And so it gets that term carrier because that coconut oil, those things that you've mixed with that essential oil, all of those are fats, and they will help carry that essential oil down through the fatty layer of your skin and eventually into your bloodstream. And then the next really cool thing is that since these are oils, well, they can bond and actually enter our cells and then affect us on that cellular level, because our cells are also surrounded by a lipid or a fat layer. So pretty cool stuff. The carrier oils help bring the essential oil quickly into our body, and then once there, they can act on our cells for loads of therapeutic benefits. Now, the third type, it's probably the most controversial, to be really honest, is internal use of essential oils. And again, in our graphic associated with this post, you'll see that by internal use, we might mean that you've added some essential oil to your water. Maybe you've added some lemon or your favorite citrus oil, or a little bit of peppermint oil to your tea. You can add them into cooking. So when we talk about internal use, maybe we're just mixing it in with the products that we're taking in. Or we can take the essential oil into a little veggie cap. So this little veggie cap, let's say I've got an oil like oregano. I love oregano. I love it in cooking. But oregano, I don't like the way it smells on my body. So if I want its therapeutic benefits, its antibacterial and antiviral benefits, then I'm going to put some drops into a veggie cap, cap that up, and take this right away. Okay. Now, because internal use can be so potent, it bypasses the skin. It's going to get absorbed in through the stomach into the body relatively quickly. Some oils that we use very commonly, doTERRA will also package them in little soft gels. This is an example of On Guard or Immune Blend. I'll take this after this video. That they've already packaged several drops of this oil, so you can take this throughout the day very easily and quickly. And use of a veggie caps or a capsule like this is wonderful, especially if you don't like the taste of that essential oil and you don't want to just mix it in water. Okay, so internal use, why would we want to do that? Well, I oftentimes think when I'm using essential oils, the question that I ask myself is, how quick do I want to be well? If I've got an internal problem, maybe my tummy's a little upset, so I've got a little bit of heartburn, well, I'll probably use that essential oil in multiple ways. Aromatically, for sure, that can help lessen nausea, let's say, for example, really quickly. Or if you're stuffy and you want respiratory support, aromatic use is great. But also with that first analogy of maybe having a little upset stomach, I can also take some essential oil and put it right over the area where maybe I'm having some burn and some irritation. I can put it directly over my tummy. And as we talked about with topical use, is that essential oil is going to get absorbed down into your bloodstream in a matter of minutes, so around 30 minutes, maybe a bit more, to get into the problem. So the more serious a situation is, I oftentimes will use it all three ways, or at least topical and internal. But there's one thing for safety that I want to talk about. Our bottles of essential oil, in addition to having the certified pure therapeutic grade, in addition to having the lot number that you can look up and find out about the purity of this oil, it also has supplemental facts. And so when you see that, that tells you that this oil is safe for internal use. And it'll even give you some suggestions of how to do that. These essential oils are strong. A little will do you. And so we want to make sure that you use things safely and effectively. Now, along with this post, I've also put some pictures about how you can dilute the essential oils for people of all different sizes and ages. And I've also put up a document that talks about what's the maximum amount of essential oil that we could be taking into our body, either aromatic, internal, or topical. So look over those two pictures, watch this video, and when you're done, why don't you comment and tell me which one of those three ways you're most excited about trying essential oils this week. All right, I look forward to talking to you a bit. Our next video is on lavender.